I speak in support of this amendment, and I thank Senators Rennick, Babet and Roberts as well for their support for this. And really what this represents is a moral lifeboat for this chamber, because as Senator Canavan has outlined in his oratory, we are seeing now the business end of what we saw over the last 2 years in this country. I come from a lineage of people from the former Yugoslavia, and my grandmother, I believe, would have turned in her grave if she had seen what had become of the country she came to after leaving communist Yugoslavia in the late 1940s. People from the Eastern Bloc would stop me all the time, a year ago, 18 months ago, and say, we fled our country because of this sort of tyranny. We fled our country because of what was happening. Now, people may laugh at that, they shouldn't, but they may, and those opposite have spent the better part of the last 2 years simply dismissing these claims as tinfoil hat-wearing conspiracy theories. Now, none of us have found our tinfoil hats today. Senator Roberts has lost his, Senator Babet has left his in his office. But what you are seeing are people in this chamber who are very serious, who have picked this up early, who have understood the outrage of what has happened. The fact that there was never any justification, as Senator Canavan quite rightly says, for what we saw over the last 2 years is 100% true. We knew it at the time, many of us knew it at the time, but there is now an opportunity which has afforded itself for people in this chamber to swallow their pride and understand that what they have been partied to has been wrong. And there was a time in this country where the left of politics, Labor and the Greens, used to stand for working people. And some of the stories that I've been accustomed to over the last 2 years have been nothing short of heartbreaking. And I want to take the opportunity to let people stand in the shoes of those who have lost their house, who have lost their businesses, who have lost their life savings in some cases, simply for the heinous crime of refusing, see if you can make this out, refusing to take an experimental therapy which had never been tested before. Now, we can hang on the issue of it was passed provisionally approved by the TGA. Think about what that actually means. We are now seeing incredible instances, coincidences of the highest order of excess deaths, of problems with pregnancies. People have been proven right. So I'm sorry to tell you all, you've all been had. The mainstream media have done a number on you like you've never seen before. You've fallen for it, and it's time that we moved on and allowed people to get back to work in this country. Senator Canavan outlined earlier, very, very correctly, that we are living in a world where you can, quite rightly, not be discriminated against because of your race, because of your gender, and because of a range of other issues. And yet somehow the decisions you make about your own medical care do not have that kind of protection. It is quite extraordinary that we are still going down this path, particularly when there was never a case for mandates, as we have seen. We've seen it. The Premier, Dominic Perrottet, the Premier of New South Wales, made this observation last week. He has now said that transmission is not affected by vaccination. You are not protecting grandma if you are taking this experimental therapy. You are not. You are not protecting your workmates. You are just simply not. There was never a case for it. But now the good news is this. We've got an opportunity for everyone to right the ship, take the moral lifeboat, support this amendment.